Alright, InnerTubers. Today, we are not doing Let's Learning. Today, I have created a copy of my Double J world, which is the world that Queen Wingit and I inhabit. The Double J in real life, Earl, both of our names actually start with J, ergo Double J. But I've turned zombie spawning off. I did notice there are still a few around. I'm assuming they're just ones that were already there. That way we shouldn't be interrupted. So my intention is just to kind of show you around. So this is not where we started. We'll see that in a moment in that early direction. But I think it was around night number 2 we found this forge house and we made it a home. We spent, I think, 2 horde nights here. Here is our ingress and egress. So for hordes, we actually just stood up here and shot down at them while they ran around in those spikes. And this is actually still for Mr. Lich, our bedrolls. And then down here, this was so that he can see different styles of bases. This is where we started. This house comes with a forge right here. We took it with us when we left. And then this was just our basic supplies. This was it. There wasn't anything else to it. And like I said, we would just shut the door and we would stand right here for the hordes, jump in and out, as simple as that. So, oh, that looks glitchy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head up to where we actually spent our first night, which was here, and I'll see you when we get there. Alright, when we started the game, I don't remember exactly where we were, but this was the first thing we found. This little intersection that had nothing more than a gas station and a bar, which is all you really need when you're on a road trip. I'm really having some terrain loading issues, but we spent our first night up here. I talked with Queen Wingit, and we think we actually ended up stuck here on another night, which is why a lot of this is reinforced, because the cobble, or whatever this stuff is, this brick, was so decayed, we were just trying to block it off so they wouldn't see us. Our bedrolls, we had a little bit of just some storage, some junk left here, but not much to see here. Just where we spent the first night. Not all that different than us staying up on top of the Shamway roof now. So now we're gonna go where we actually spent several weeks, which was right there. So once again, I'll see you when we get there. That is really weird looking, isn't it? I've never seen this happen before. Strange. Very, very strange. Kind of makes it hard to navigate. I have no idea what's coming. Alright, we have arrived. Don't mind the blood on my screen. I wrote it. Wow. Bizarreness. Oh, disregard all that. I've never seen that. That's amazing. Anyways, we picked this brick building to move into, and for safety's sake, we did a similar thing where we sealed off the ground floor, and our initial, here's one of our remaining zombies, was we would come in over on this side, run up this ramp, jump across through the door, across this long little bridge we've made. This was our kind of anti-spider rail. And Queen Wingit was always terrified of falling off, so we did it with railings. And we started out, you've seen this before, similar thing. We ended up, we did have a larger spike pit down there with the wood spikes on top. But we had, our basic storage up in here. I don't know what that E was. Dump chests, his and hers. When we would come in from looting, we would just unload quickly, and then overnight we would organize. We did have some concrete and some other stuff over here, concrete mixers. We took them with us when we left. I don't recall what was up here. Not much. Bedrolls. That's about it. And we eventually realized that getting in and out, running all the way over there, I'm mystified, was a pain in the butt. So we ended up creating just the little ingress egress ramps all the way around. That is really distracting. On all four sides. We also eventually no longer wanted to fight them indoors, so we created this. We will likely see something like this in our current world, in the Lich Learning world, because I have done this tower many times. I'm a big fan of it. Ugh. So this thing's taken a beating. We've never really repaired it. We stayed here till around day 45-ish. We dealt with several hordes here. We would always have to come in and redo all these spikes. So yeah, there you go. Wow, that is just so weird. Anyways, there you go. That's a brick building after two folks spend a few weeks inside of it. Now, our next base is actually quite some ways away. It is all the way over here. And that is where we are headed now. So, oh yeah. And we moved our forges out here just because they were always cranking and they attract the witches. So we wanted to keep it away from the main building so we weren't dealing with witches over there, and then we could, kind of snipe at them from up there. So that's what's going on over here. So, off to a base that I'm actually quite proud of. So we'll see you when we get there. Well, crap. That's a bummer. I don't think the terrain looked like that before. Something very strange is going on. Are we even going to be able to get down there in time? So here's some pro tip. When you end up in water, the only way out is to disassemble and pick the whole thing up. Now let's hope we can get out of here before we die of suffocation. What is going on with the terrain? Alright. So, I'm going to bunny hop across, put this bike back together, and we'll continue on. And this is where we live now. So, I'm going to start where we started. When we started, obviously this structure wasn't here. It was just this hole in the ground. And we've got the two ladders side by side since there's two of us, so that we didn't interfere with each other if one was going up and one was going down. And we started out with this little room right here. I have blocked off a couple of things to, I don't know. So there's a better reveal later. So we built storage into the walls. We tried out a few things with some recessed lighting. We moved our forges down here. Looks like they're still burning. So we have some campfires, some forges, some cement mixers. There's some more forges around the back, and then we've kind of delegated them to particular things. Then what we did was, I'm going to go back up. we devised our plan to deal with the first horde we would deal with over here. And that was over here. This should look familiar. It's a moderately bigger version of it, but it's also a standalone version of it. Just another spike pit with an area on top. We tried playing around with these street lights to provide lighting. Turns out they just kind of make this beam. They don't work very well. And then there's the light poles out there to light the perimeter. So we would just be sure to be over here when it was time to deal with the horde. The next thing we did was get started on that. And I'm going to show you, well, I'll show you from the outside. Is there someone here? Nope. Alright. And then we'll talk about it from the inside. So this is where we deal with hordes now. So it's a spike pit, but now instead of being on top, which we do have the option, we are on the inside. And let me show you what that looks like. Now we can start some of our revealing of the things. So through here, I wanted to block this off so you couldn't see it because we decorated this hallway. So you come down here, and we are at bedrock. That's bedrock right there. This takes us to the underside. Those are all the spikes, and what this does is it allows us to repair from the underneath. So if things get damaged, I think everything's already been repaired, but we can be down here while the zombies are up there. I keep seeing something flash. Yeah, see? But I don't have anything with me. But this likely has, yep, there we go. Those are repair materials. You can repair things from down here. So we keep a little bit of material over here, some tools, a couple of emergency pills. Then you can go up one more level. And this is where you do your fighting. No matter which way they come, you're ready for them. These are all just dump chests, so that because you can reach right through and you can loot, and then you can turn around and unload and keep going. If you'd like, you can go to the top and you can shoot down on them. It's also a quick way in and out because you can go out like so. So the last thing I want to show you is our garage. So over here, it was the other thing that was blocked off down there. If you lay those 50 pillars sideways, your bike will fit through them. And then we can head down here to the man cave. This is our newest addition. Let me knock this out so you can see how it all ties together. This is the garage, and I have turned it into, as you may have seen, this is my man cave. So we moved our workbenches. Our workbenches used to sit right here. We've moved them in here. And then threw in some cabinets and some shelves. We got a beer cooler. I think we may even have beers in it. Yep, it's stocked and ready to rock. Cam station. This is our mini bike parts are over here. Things like this, the old sink, the faucet, the water fountain, the open sign, we had to buy those from the trader. That's where we got those. We have a gun safe where we keep some weapons. Lockers for clothes items. We keep all our money in there. Food and drink is in the fridge, of course. Canned goods up above. Empties next to it. And we bought a vending machine just to see how it would look. It looks alright. But this is the man cave. I really like it. And then what we have up here is kind of deep storage for excess material. If we have more wood or stone, then we'll fit in our regular storage over here. Then we just move the overflow up here into this little storage loft. So, this is the man cave. I am quite pleased with this. I like it a lot. There's some cool stuff going on here. You notice I turned my headlight off. This is lit. Let me see if I can show you how we did that. It's some trickery. Is it this one? There are lights back behind the stone, and they actually shine through. So every 3 blocks, there's another light, and then there's one on both sides, and that keeps this lit without you seeing the lights. It's a bit of hidden lighting, and I think it's really cool. There you go, the man cave. And then just to let you see what's coming, we're in the process of building the master bedroom, and all we've done so far is hollow it out. So there you go. That is a very quick tour of the Double J world, the accomplishments of Queen Wingit and I. So let me know if you like it. Hopefully you can find some inspiration from it, and be sure to play with those interactables and stay classy.